Morbid. Smile for me, he says, knowing full well what he alone knows, and a few things we can all see, such as the fact that it bugs the hell out of me. He's smiling. I always look like I'm quietly wincing to myself when I chance to see what everyone around me is privy to. I have a hard time looking in the mirror. So I do, hoping I'll catch something worthwhile, something lovable, but I never smile unless I'm thinking about something else, something funny. People have said that I take myself too seriously, but I don't use that as an excuse to be easier on myself, rather as proof that the joke from Reefer Madness the musical was on me and less funny than true. Love isn't the answer, but vigilance. Turn the camera on me and all you'll see is caution. There are things you alone know, and I might not want to learn them. Being a quick student doesn't always mean that you think, but that you can regurgitate convincingly. Able to please, eager for praise, some things go too deep for unlearning, and without devastation will fester in a character's foundation, ever scenting life above like a sweet, pungent warning so constant one could get used to the noxious. Normalize it. You have a beautiful smile, he'd said, knowing full well what he alone knew he'd have to carry around as he tried to keep me from seeing what was painfully obvious inside of me. As the tears on the pillow I faced in my own hell, he was smiling. I had laughed at his joke, so obtuse that even a little raped girl had to chuckle, and they say I have no sense of humor about myself. The joke was that there was only love in his house, but he didn't know it was funny. He was suddenly afraid of me, what I thought, what I could do, how to cover his ass. He ran away from his mother's house, I know, 'cause I went back, but not to confront him, or finish his trouble. Some things I never learned. I think now I went back because he fed me heroin. And all the things I didn't know didn't keep them from happening in all their fetid depth or from ingrating themselves in my psyche to be replayed again and again. You should always smile, he'd said, not knowing at all that every smile I catch myself in reminds me that he thought I was beautiful in that moment, and in that moment I wondered if I was ugly when I wasn't smiling. Maybe that was part of the myriad of wondered about reasons as to why and how I ended up in that position. They never could look at me, any of those men, or they might not have been able to do what they did, but I knew full well that it was a danger to me not to please them. My education assured me that if I wiped that look off my face, the situation was likely to improve, at least in the short term, and they would never have to feel badly about what they had done and able again to take it out on me if I never gave them the opportunity to see how I felt. I would somehow avoid danger if I never endangered my truth to exposure, and I would never have to defend myself if I were never revealed. I wasn't thinking then about how that would reduce my body's ability to feel, or how the protective dissociation had already insulated me from any connection to it, or love, in any sense. Smile for me, he says, not knowing at all what I know only too well, that we both know it bugs the hell out of me. I look him in the eyes. I am tired from landscaping, and he's half-faced already, trying to get me off the bus and into the bar for a drink with him. I never smile, I say, on command. I am loud enough for the women in a huddle at the front to hear. I can't let this pass half so quietly as I can take in the pain of offhanded dismissal, and I am now in the business of confrontation. When I have a hard time seeing what I see, I look again, and harder. I am devastation, cracking open the face of my own hell, laughing at the destruction of a foundation I must unbuild that I might learn something deeper, like to love more, maybe earn something of a less morbid sense of humor.